Why, hello all. How are you guys doing? What's up, Wing Chun? How you doing? First, as always, what's up, Losh? How's it going? Hey, Casey. I'm glad you could join. You think it's gonna be a good one? I think so too. What's up, Bigfoot? How are you doing? Hey, Nikki. I'm glad you're here. You need to get this bag of tangerines away from you. Why? Eat it. Eat it. Okay, I think. Okay. Hopefully, my computer is gonna be all right. It's been acting up today. The fan is going like crazy, and it just froze on me like a couple minutes ago. They're just too delicious. I need to hack my way into my computer and fix it. You guys, you know, like in movies, have you guys ever seen like in movies where they have hackers and all the hackers do is like whenever you see a hacking scene, they're like the hands go crazy over the keyboard. It's just so dumb. That is not hacking. No one does it like that. No one uses their mouse. Yeah, and they all have scripts. Yeah, they wrote everything beforehand. All hacking is you know what it looks like? It looks like this. Click or enter, and that's it. And just wait for your script to run. That's it. But it's not exciting. What's up, Sal? How's it going? Yeah, I want to see a scene. Let's see. Look up a hacking scene. Window. Now, what about this one? The most accurate hacking scene ever.
System breach. Firewall 1.
We got a problem.
What?
Someone synced a rat to one of my servers. A remote access tool. We're being hacked.
By Loxat?
I don't know.
But we've been so careful. How could they
We're being
find
hacked.
us?
They haven't found
Right
us
now.
yet. Just cracked the outer layer of our system. I'll start an intrusion inspection and find out who our rat is.
You can see the hacking that's going on. The exact percentage.
What? They're on to us. Vikram's trying to track our IP address.
Oh, can you stop it?
No. But I can
Alright.
slow him down.
I think we should
Coming
watch all
from
of this.
inside the city, trying to
I wanna
narrow
see.
it down.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Start Counter-Strike. They have like 10 firewalls. Where's the typing scene? I guess this one doesn't have it. It's so dumb. Anyways, we're gonna try a new game today, guys. It's not just Wordle and Cemental. It's a new game. Brand new. Hold on. Immortal. Hold on. How do I switch to my window? I think it's this one. Nope. Okay. I guess this one? Okay. I have too many windows open. Alright, let's do Wordle first. Okay. Let's breeze through this real quick. Da-da-da-da-da. Ah, what is it? Easy. Easy. Okay. Okay. Ue, ue, u. Ooses, buses. EU. E USE. No. ESU. Isu. Ui. Lure. No, stop. BENDS. Bennu. Bennu. Oh no. EUS. 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 Zeus. Zeus. EUS. Or UE. U. US. E. Used. Use. What is the use? Used. Usage. Usage. No A though. But I think we should just try this. Okay. 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 Bus. Busy. Busy. Buses. Buses. Just. Lust. Lush. Lust. Justice. Just. Just. Bust. Is that a word? Bustle. Nussle. Nust. No T. Bush. Bush. No H. Bustle. Oh no. Dust. Dust. Dusty. Nuss. Cusp. Cust. Custard. Dusted. Oh. So it's. Oh yeah, it's USE. USC. Choose. Woos. Deuce. It's not SUE, right? Oh, maybe it is. Oh. Misuse. Misuse. Tissue. Vishu. I think it's USC. USC. Woos. Use. Moose. Boos. Woos. Oh no. SUE? What is this? Tissue. Wish. No, it must be USE. And these two are consonants, I think. So it's mouse. No O. No. There's no two consonants that can go there, is there? W J K L. Is it use? Oh, use, noose, boose. What is this word? Woos? Oh God. USE. SUE? USE. Loose. Boos. Boos. Ooh. Eluce. Is that a word? Excuse. Excuse. Enuse. Eluce. Like elusive. Eluce. That's not a word though. Deduce. Deuce. Deuce. Not a word. What? I think it's E. What? Euse. Not a word though. Woos, boos, noose, loose, cuse, juice, juice, juice. Haha. Wait. USUE. In Nusu. Haha. Is chat just laughing at me right now? I think you guys already got it. I have no idea what this is. Segway. No S though. USE. What? EUSE, like Beetlejuice. Oh my god. You know what? Maybe we don't have time for the new game today. USE. USE. Deus. SUE? Oh no. Oh god. USE. Us. 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 Bus. Bus. Mus. Chus. Can't be UUSE. Maybe it's USUE. Musu. Musu. Nusu. Kusu. Dusu. Fuck. Guys. Send me some good thoughts. USUE. What is this stupid word? EUSE. Oh. QUESE. 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 Spanish, right? SE. Wait. Can be QU. Oh, God. Just kill me right now. CKKC. UCL. Recluse. Recluse. Guys. E S E EU SUE. Ensue. Oh my fucking. Huh. 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 The camera gave up. The camera did. He's like, I gotta go. Can't do this anymore. Ensue. Okay. It's a hard word, okay? It's a hard word. Did you guys guess that? Louse. I like that. Ensue. Ensue. Two E's, hey? Have you guys played this one? Connections. Also a New York Times one. It's pretty fun. So we're supposed to create 4 groups of 4, okay? And each group has something in common with them, okay? It can get pretty weird. Well, let's see. Does it come in dark mode? Why, yes it does. Oh, fuck. Was that not dark mode? It does not. I'm sorry. Not this goddamn game. What's wrong with this? We got birthday, candy, get it, thank you, contact, witness, hack it, see, shadow, make do, get well, understand, manage, capiche, get by, congratulation. Okay. So we got a get well card, a thank you card, a birthday card, and a congratulations card. They're all cards. It's gotta be right. Okay, kinds of greeting cards. Not bad. All right, we got capiche. Capiche means do you get it? Do you see? Do you understand? It all means understand, I think. Are we clear? Okay. All right. Make do, get by. Oh, this is easy. We can make do, we can get by, we can manage it, and I can hack it. I can do it. Ah, and whatever this is. Wait, what was that? Words after eye. Oh, like eye candy, eye contact, eyeshadow, and eyewitness. Your friend and you play it because it caused so much rage. Yeah, today's was easy. I think sometimes it's really hard. All right. Samantha, let's do this. Easy. Game. Level. Up. Play. Win. Lose. Attack. Time. Enjoy. Friend. Ensue. Exhibition. Genocide. Plays. Video. Audio. Gamer. Clown. Why? Play. Computer. Console. Oh, fun. Oh, exciting. Entertainment. Entertain. Theater. Timer's going. Okay. Stage. Have. Pilot. Entertainer. Park. Oh! How'd you know it was a park? You play at a park. How about an amusement park? How about a lawn? A lawn? Grass? A field? Grassy? What? A grassy knoll. Okay. Forest. I like that. How about grassland? Yeah, park. Stadium. Meadow. Oh! Prairie. I like that. How about a clearing? No. Glade. Okay. Garden. Oh, we're pretty good. This is gonna be faster than Wordle. Meadows. A meadow. Swamp. Okay. Lake. River? Pond? Oh, not bad. Faster than Wordle. Did you guys expect that? Good job, guys. Good job. I have this. Can you see? Like a round cake kind of thing. Yeah, little cute little kitty cat. 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Oh. Look. It has little paws. No. See it? Little kitty paws. Wait a minute. Smells like bananas. I'm not a fan of banana. Oh. Very banana-y. Oh no. Banana cat. Well, I ate his paw. Well, it's a nice cake texture though. Yeah. Gonna have to give it a 4.5 out of 10. Not a fan of bananas, guys. Twinkies originally had banana filling. Really? Thank God they got rid of that. Is it a moon pie? Wait, you hate moon pies? I love moon pies. Are we talking about the same thing? Oh, I remember. Oh, I ate this so much when I was a kid. How could you not like it? It's got some chocolate. It's got a little like cracker thing, or kind of cake thing. And then you got marshmallow. How can you not like moon pie? It's too dry. Just drink some milk with it. What do you mean? All right. Well, since we finished Cemento so quickly, I have a surprise. I have a second snack. Whoa! You did not expect that, did you? A second one. No, it looks kind of rectangular-ish. Hold on. All right. It's not a Twinkie, is it? Smash Twinkie. Oh, what is this? Also kind of a cake texture. Can you see? I wonder what it's filled with. Ooh. Oh, smells good. It is not banana. A bit of a cake texture. A bit sweet. Not sure what kind of flavor it is. Some kind of bean? Soybean? I don't know. Not bad. That's better. It's like a 7.5. 7.4 out of 10. All right. All right, that made up for the banana. Oh, wait. Let's do a recap. Okay. So, you ready? This chapter might be pretty exciting, I think. All right, what happened last week? So last week, if you remember, our boy Guo Jing, he's carrying Mei Chaofeng on his back. Okay, Mei Chaofeng is the Iron Corpse. You remember? Yeah, her legs don't work, so he has to carry her. She asks if he recognizes this dagger that she carries. Okay, the dagger with the words Yang Kang on it. And Guo Jing, he just answers truthfully because, like, he thinks that this woman just saved his life, right? So he says, yeah, he used his dagger to kill an evil man when he was young. Unfortunately, Mei Chaofeng then strangles him because that evil man was her freaking husband. Her husband was Copper Corpse. So Guo Jing finally realizes who she is. And then we get to see into the mind of Mei Chaofeng a little bit. She's flooded with memories. She recalls how her parents had died and her master rescued her. Now, her master is a man by the name of Huang Yaoxi, and he took her to the Peach Blossom Island, okay, and he trains her with his other disciples. There, she falls in love, and she secretly marries another disciple. Okay, his name is Chun Xuanfeng. And together they sneak off the island, and they steal the master's martial arts manual, okay, called the 9 Yin Manual. So they sneak off, they run off. The master is super mad. He breaks the legs of all of his disciples on the island because they let the two escape. Now, unfortunately, the two they stole the manual, but they couldn't understand it without the master's proper teachings. So they kind of are training, but like they're not doing it right. Okay. And then they ran into the 7 freaks of Jiangnan. And remember, the husband died, and she gets blinded. Mei Chaofeng, she continued to train. After that, she continued to train. And then for somehow the 6th Jin Prince, Wenyan Honglia, he took her in. She secretly trained for years, okay, but an accident during training left her paralyzed from the waist down. So that's what happened to her in the meantime. So she, back to the present, she decides to extract Guo Jing's training methods, okay, his training methods from the Qianjin sect, that Taoist sect. So Guo Jing agrees to give her some pointers, but he makes her promise to deliver the medicine to Wang Chuyi, which is why they're here in the first place. Remember, he's trying to get the medicine to give to that Taoist master, Wang Chuyi. And just then, Huang Rong appears, okay, and turns out she's been listening the entire time, and she reveals her identity, okay. So Huang Rong is the daughter of Master Huang Yaoxi, okay, that master. That master on Peach Blossom Island. So after the master's wife gave birth to her, his wife died in childbirth, okay? And the master, in his grief, he kicks all of his disciples off the island, and he was only living with his daughter until one day, I think he scolded his daughter a little bit, and she wasn't used to it, so she she couldn't handle it, and she ran away. Okay, so that's why Huang Rong ran away. Now Huang Rong tells Mei Chaofeng to protect her, okay, to protect her and Guo Jing from the Ouyang Ke and the other enemies, okay. And Mei Chaofeng agrees to do so because she's super scared of the master. and this is the master's daughter. So Mei Qiaofeng, she does fight with them, and Guo Jing, meanwhile, Guo Jing is carrying her on his back, and they're pretty good together. Okay, he's carrying her on his back, she's attacking, and they fight their way through the palace grounds. And that's where we left off. How's that? Last chapter, we learned that Chen Xuanfeng always wore a shirt while having sex. True. True. She never noticed the 9 yin manual carved on his body the entire time they were husband and wife. All right. Chapter 11, Part 1. Title is Chen Qin Admits Defeat. We got a new translator. Okay. Hopefully that's good news. Hopefully we can't get any worse than the previous translator. So crossing fingers. Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls? Yes! I'm glad you got the reference. How many people watched the Powerpuff Girls back in the day? Mojo Jojo! Until Blossom and the gang find him. Which is your favorite Powerpuff Girls, guys? You like Bubbles? Why do you like Bubbles? Da-da-da. You don't like Buttercup? I think I liked Buttercup the best. She's a kind of a badass. Bubbles alright, she's cute. You fear her ever snapping? Ta-da-da. Oh, do you remember her? Oh, ho, 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 ho. I remember her. So sexy back in the day, no? Good lord. Little Lin really liked it. Alright. Mojo Jojo. Alright. I'm rooting for this translator, okay? I think he's gonna be better than the previous one. Real question though, why was the professor making little girls in his lab? Yeah, what is going on? Alright. Seeing his disciple brother in critical danger, Sha Tongtian leapt over to quickly try and break Mei Qiaofeng's grip. As soon as their hands met, they both felt their arms struck by a sudden ache. Meanwhile, over to their left came the sound of darts whizzing through the air. Peng Lianhu was throwing his darts directly at Mei Qiaofeng. She deftly shifted her arm and threw Ho Tonghai straight towards the stream of darts. "Ayya!" yelled Ho Tonghai as the darts smacked into his body. Hong Rong called out, "Congratulations, three-horned dragon! You have managed to catch so many darts." Sha Tongtian, seeing the amazing power of Mei Qiaofeng's throw, and his disciple brother down on the ground seriously injured, leapt over towards Ho Tonghai, and with a stretch of his hand pulled him upright. Ho Tonghai flew up like a paper sparrow, but almost immediately looked as if he would collapse again. There was no strength left in his body. Not sure of the next line. Okay. I think somehow Sha Tongtian managed to accidentally hit Ho Tonghai when he reached out to grab him and ended hitting on his 3 carbuncles. What? Wait, is chapter 11 super short? What's going on? Seems to be very short. Are we missing something? All these events happened within a blink of an eye. Whilst this was going on, Ouyangke and Liang Ziwang were attacking Mei Chaofeng from the front and rear in concert, with Sha Tongtian, who was attacking from the right. Mei Chaofeng was able to judge by the sound of the darts in the air where they were and sent them flying back in 4 directions towards Ouyang, Liang, Sha, and Peng. She asks, "What does gather the 5 bunches mean?" Guo Jing replied, "The eastern ghost is wood, western soul's metal, southern spirit's fire, northern essence is water, central will's earth." Mei Chaofeng called out, "Hey, I might have guessed earlier. What does the perform the 4 harmonious signs mean?" Guo Jing replied, "Hide the eyes, concentrate the hearing, regulate the breath, seal the tongue, qi." Mei Chaofeng sighed. So this is the original meaning. What about the 5 primary chambers? Or courts of the palace? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Again, Guo Jing replied, "Don't use your eyes to see, rather locate your soul in the liver. Don't use your ears to listen, rather locate your essence in the kidneys. Don't use your mouth to chant, rather locate your spirit in the heart. Don't use your nose to smell, rather locate your soul in your lungs. Don't move with your 4 limbs, rather locate your mind concentration in your spleen. These are the 5 primary chambers." Oh no, Mojo Jojo not doing so well. The 4 harmonious signs and 5 primary chambers were key techniques contained in the 9 yin scripture practiced by monks. Not having anyone to explain the meanings of these key phrases to her, Mei Chaofeng had struggled without success for over 10 years to understand them. Oh no, now he teaches her. Oh god. Now with Guo Jing's explanations, she suddenly understood everything and was extremely pleased. Again, she pressed for more information. "Now, how do I perform the gathering 3 flower topses?" This technique was the crucial key to putting everything together. She had strived all those years for just this key point, so she listened intently for Guo Jing's answer. Guo Jing replied, "Essence is transformed into qi. Qi is transformed into spirit." Mei Chaofeng, by concentrating on Guo Jing's words, became less attentive to the fight and her 4 opponents. Just as Guo Jing was saying the 2 sentences, she was struck on her left shoulder and right side by Ouyangke and Sha Tongtian's fists. She felt a severe pain that was hard to bear. Originally, Huang Rong had planned to have Mei Chaofeng detain their enemies in a fight, whilst she and Guo Jing took the opportunity to slip away. She never expected that Guo Jing would be dragged into the fighting as well, becoming a steed carrying a mount into the battle, making it impossible for them to get away. Now she became both worried and angry. Meanwhile, Mei Chaofeng was becoming alarmed at suddenly being thrown on the defensive and called out, "Hey, what did you do to annoy so many fierce opponents? Shifu, where are you?" At this time, Mei Chaofeng's thoughts were in deep conflict. On the one hand, she was hoping her old master would appear and see with his own eyes how she was helping to save his daughter from the savage onslaught of these 4 highly skilled martial artists, and would leap in to help her dispatch them. Oh yeah, because remember, she's blind, and Huang Rong tricked her into thinking that the master is actually here. On the other hand, when she thought about how wild and strange his nature was, she was struck with the terror of meeting him again. Huang Rong called out, "He's coming soon, but why worry? These couple of guys are no match for you. Even if you just sit on the ground, none of them would be able to harm a hair on your head." She was hoping that with a bit of flattery, Mei Chaofeng would feel emboldened enough to let Guo Jing go and fight it out alone. However, Mei Chaofeng had already begun to feel that she was not able to manage the 4 opponents by herself. She was already showing signs of despondency, and no amount of flattery was going to make her change her mind. Furthermore, she still had a few more questions to ask Guo Jing about the secrets of the sutra, and was not about to let him go, even if she could win the fight, sitting alone on the ground. After a few more strikes were exchanged, Liang Ziwang suddenly leapt with a cry into the air. Mei Chaofeng felt someone executing a sneak attack, and extended both arms to block and sweep in defense. She felt her hair being pulled upwards by Liang Ziwang. Oh no. Huang Rong saw the situation was critical, and struck with her fist towards Liang Ziwang's back. Liang Ziwang hooked his right hand backwards, and grabbed Huang Rong's wrist while maintaining his grip on Mei Chaofeng's hair with his left hand. Mei Chaofeng, however, struck upwards and forced Liang Ziwang to release his grip in order to avoid being hit by her powerful attack. Okay, we got 2 pages. I still feel that's kind of short, unless the second page is really long. Second page is huge! Peng Lianhu had been fighting with Mei Chaofeng for a while before he became aware that she was actually one of the evil pair of the Dark Winds pair. Oh yeah? Was she? Seeing Huang Rong aiding her, he called out, "You lying brat! You deny that you are a disciple of the evil Dark Winds sect, but it's obvious that you are." Huang Rong laughed. "Ha ha ha ha! Her? My master? Even if she trained for another 100 years, she still wouldn't be good enough to become my master." Peng Lianhu clearly saw that Huang Rong's Gong Fu attacks were very similar to those of the Dark Winds school, yet she not only continued to deny she was a disciple, but actually went so far as to insult Mei Chaofeng. He couldn't think of why she would be doing this, leaving him astonished. Sha Tongtian yelled, "To kill the man, first shoot his horse." Oh no. And shot out a kick towards Guo Jing with his right foot. This change of tactic took Mei Chaofeng off guard. She thought, "This kid's martial arts skills are very low. He can't possibly defend himself against their attacks. If I don't act fast, I'll be dispatched by them." There was the sound of a low whistle as she bent low and shot out her hand as if to grab Sha Tongtian's foot. Ouyangke took advantage of this moment to launch an attack against her back. However, Mei Chaofeng just gave a humph and shook her right hand, causing something to flash in the moonlight. All of a sudden, a silver whip appeared, dancing and weaving all around her, and Guo Jing, all around her and Guo Jing, forming an impenetrable barrier. Lian Penghu thought to himself, "Wait, it's Peng Lianhu, right? Why did it? Why did it switch?" Peng Lianhu thought to himself, "If we don't kill her now, then when her husband, the Copper Corpse, arrives, we will all be in deep trouble." Okay, so they don't know her husband is dead. All right, good night, Sal. Have a good one. The events of that night when Chen Xuanfeng had died had not become known about in the martial world. However, the infamy of the 2 Dark Winds was widely known, and their reputation was such that even a highly feared martial artist such as himself was struck with dread at the thought of facing both of them together. Mei Chaofeng's Poison Dragon Silver Whip, well, that sounds pretty good, not bad, was powerful in the extreme. If anyone approached from any direction, they would die instantly. But Xia Tongtian, Peng Lianhu, Liang Ziwang, and Ouyang were not about to give up so easily. Suddenly, there was the sound of a whistle, and Peng Lianhu began tunneling under the ground. Mei Chaofeng was prepared to defend against the sky in all four directions, but not from below. At the sound of digging, she became greatly alarmed and struck a slap down on the ground. Seeing Guo Jing in danger, Huang Rong was about to rush to his aid, but Mei Chaofeng was one step quicker. Using her long silver whip, she had already weaved a defensive barrier around herself and Guo Jing, making it impossible for Huang Rong or anyone else to penetrate. However, Huang Rong knew that with just Mei Chaofeng's individual might, she would not be able to successfully defend against Peng Lianhu's attack for much longer. He just likes different ways of spelling Peng Lianhu. Sensing that the situation was dire, Huang Rong yelled, "Everyone hold it! I have something to say." But Peng Lianhu, of course, paid no heed to her. Why should he? Huang Rong was preparing to raise her voice again when a voice from atop the wall said, "Everyone hold it! I have something to say." Huang Rong turned her head and saw 6 figures on top of the wall, some taller, some shorter. In the darkness of night, she could not make out the faces clearly. Peng Lianhu and the others knew that some people had arrived, but did not know if they were friend or foe. At present, the battles were growing ever more intense, and nobody could bring themselves to stop. 2 people leapt down from the wall and headed straight for Ouyang, one waving a whip and the other raising a pole. The short, plump man that held the whip exclaimed, "You lecture! Let's see you escape this time." Upon hearing his voice, Guo Jing yelled gladly, "Master, save me!" The 6 people that just arrived were the 6 freaks of Jiangnan. All right, to the rescue. Our heroes. After parting with Guo Jing at the inn, the freaks had tailed the 8 girls from White Camel Mountain. When they discovered that Ouyang was leading his concubines to abduct innocent girls at night, they fought him there and then. After all, how could the 6 freaks of Jiangnan sit by and do nothing while such atrocities were being committed? Although Ouyang was highly skilled, the 6 freaks had spent more than a decade in the desert, working hard and had improved significantly since they left the Central Plains. Surrounded by 6 fighters, Ouyang was hit by Ke Jian-E's mace and subsequently had his left little finger dislocated, courtesy of Ju Cong's bone dislocation technique. Left with no choice, Ouyang was forced to leave the abducted girls behind and flee. The 2 concubines that had accompanied Ouyang for the mission, however, were killed by Nan Xiren and Chen Jinfa. After escorting the teenage girls back to their homes, the 6 freaks went in pursuit of Ouyang. He just kidnaps teenage girls? Not cool. But Ouyang was extremely sly. He must have taken another route, and thus the 6 freaks were unable to locate him. They knew that, individually, none of them were his match, and so they did not dare to split up and search. Fortunately, the girls who rode on white camels had a strange and distinct way of dressing, and it was not difficult to ask around for their whereabouts. Thus, the 6 freaks pursued them all the way to Zhao Palace. Bells for the concubines? Sure. Ouyangku's white robe stood out in the darkness, and Han Baoju, together with Nian Qiren, attacked immediately. Upon hearing Guo Jing's cry, the 6 freaks were both surprised and glad. Zhu Tong and the rest then looked more closely and saw that the person weaving the barrier with a long silver whip was none other than Iron Corpse, Mei Chao Feng. Mei Chao Feng was sitting on Guo Jing's shoulder, and it certainly looked like Guo Jing had fallen into her clutches. Oh no, they misunderstood. Their faces paling in shock. Han Xiaoying immediately brandished her sword and rushed forward. Chen Jinfa tumbled into the silver whip's defensive radius, both hoping to rescue Guo Jing. Peng Lianhu and the others already thought it strange that 6 people should suddenly arrive. Now these 6 people were attacking both Ouyangku and Iron Corpse, making it even more impossible to tell whose side they were on. Peng Lianhu halted his attack, still using his earthen palm, got out of the whip's radius. "Everyone, stop fighting! I have something to say," he shouted. Like a large booming bell, his shout rang aloud in everyone's ears. Liang Zuwang and Sha Tongtian were the first to stop fighting. Ku Zheng-e could tell from his shout that this person was a force to be reckoned with, and called out, "Third brother, 7th sister, don't be rash." Upon hearing their eldest brother's orders, Han Baoju and the rest backed off. Mei Xiaofeng had also withdrawn her silver whip and was panting. Huang Rong stepped forward and told her, "You have reaped much credit for yourself this time. My father will be pleased." Using both arms, she motioned to Guo Jing, telling him to toss Mei Xiaofeng away. Guo Jing understood Huang Rong and knew that she had spoken to Mei Xiaofeng to distract her. He said, "The 3 flowers gathered atop is essence transformed into qi, qi transformed into spirit, spirit transformed into nothingness. Remember that." Mei Xiaofeng pondered, then asked, "How does one transform?" Suddenly, she felt her body soar through the air. While she had been dwelling on the deeper meanings of this internal energy mantra, Guo Jing had seized the opportunity and tossed her more than 10 feet away. Good job. At the same time, he had summoned his energy and leapt backwards. But even before he could land, Mei Xiaofeng's poison dragon silver whip was already flying towards him, its hooks sparkling brightly. Han Baoju exclaimed, "Not good!" He unleashed his own whip, and the 2 whips met. Suffering waves of shock from the extremely close shave, Han Baoju's whip was snatched by her poison dragon silver whip. Mei Xiaofeng was just about to land hard on the ground, but her outstretched palm met the ground first, and she lightly seated herself. Having heard Ku Zheng-e's voice and fought briefly with Han Xiaoying, she knew that the 7 freaks of Jiannan must have arrived. Her heart filled with loathing, and at the same time a little fear. She thought to herself, "I have searched everywhere for them in vain, and now they have delivered themselves to me. If it were any other day, I would have thanked the heavens, but this night I was surrounded by other strong enemies, and already found them hard to handle. Now, with the addition of these 7 scoundrels, I cannot possibly hope to live past tonight." She gritted her teeth and decided, "I have no grudge with Liang Zuwang and the others. As for the 7 freaks, I will fight them to the death and make sure that if I perish, they perish with me. 1 dead freak is 1 less. I'll take as many as I can with me." Gripping her poison dragon silver whip, she listened carefully to the 7 freaks' movements and wondered, "Out of 7, only 6 came. I wonder where the other is ambushed." She did not know that the laughing Buddha, Zheng A-sheng, had already been killed by her husband on that fateful night in the steppes. The 6 freaks, Sha Tongtian and the others, all knew the power of her silver whip and stood far away from her, careful not to stray within 40 to 50 feet of her. For a moment, all was silent. Zhu Tong whispered to Guo Jing, "Why are they fighting? Why are you helping that wretch?" Guo Jing replied, "They wanted to kill me, but she saved me." But Zhu Tong and the other freaks remained puzzled. Peng Lianhu called out, "What business do you have sneaking into the palace in the middle of the night? Leave your names." Ku Zheng replied coldly, "My surname is Ke. We are 7 brothers, and people call us the 7 freaks of Jiangnan." Peng Lianhu said, "Ah, so it is the 7 heroes from Jiangnan I have long admired," Sha Tongtian said in a strange voice. "Great, the 7 freaks have come knocking on my door. I have long wanted to spar with you and see just how good you are." Upon hearing that it was the 7 freaks of Jiangnan, he immediately remembered the shame his 4 disciples had suffered. In one swift movement, he stole forward. Appraising the 7 freaks, he saw that Ke Zhen'e was blind, Han Xiaoying was a woman, Chen Jinfa was skin and bones, Han Baozhu was short and fat, Zhu Tong had the air of someone cultured, but not the air of a pugilist. Of them, only Nan Ren had the bold, proud quality of a fighter. Not wanting to waste his time on the rest, he struck straight towards Nan Ren's head. Nan Ren stuck his pole in the ground and met Sha Tongtian's palm with his own. After a few moves, it was clear that Nan Ren was not his match. Han Xiaoying and Chen Jinfa readied their weapons, sword and scale respectively, and rushed forward to help. With a roar, Peng Lianhu leapt towards Chen Jinfa and attempted to grab his weapon. Upon sensing Peng Lianhu's intentions, Chen Jinfa quickly drew back his weapon and sent both ends of it, a scale mace and a scale hook, flying towards Peng. For all of Peng Lianhu's experience in the martial world, he had never seen anything like Chen Jinfa's weapon before. With a weird python flip, he dodged Chen's attack and exclaimed, "What is this? You're using a scale from the market as a weapon?" Chen Jinfa retorted, "This hand scale of mine is precisely for weighing you lot of skinny pigs." Oh. In a fit of anger, Peng Lianhu rushed forward with both palms striking furiously. Chen Jinfa was, of course, unable to break his attack. Seeing his 6th brother was in danger, Han Baozhu quickly went to his aid. Though he no longer had his whip, his basic melee was still quite powerful. But even with 2 versus 1, Peng Lianhu still seemed almost impossible to handle. Ku Zheng flourished his staff, Zhu Tong brandished his fan, and both joined in the battle. Ku Zheng and Zhu Tong were much more powerful than the rest of their brothers, so naturally, with their addition, the battle tipped in the freaks' favor. Over at the other side, the battle between Ho Tonghai and Huang Rong had grown extremely intense. Ho Tonghai's wugong was right better than hers, but when he thought of this rascal's soft hedgehog armor and the thorns that resided even in her hair, his fist and palm strikes did not even dare to come into contact with her body, much less grab her by her hair. That hedgehog armor is super useful. Sensing his fear and hesitation, Huang Rong took full advantage and charged about brashly, forcing him to back away repeatedly. Ho Tonghai shouted, "This is unfair! Take off your soft hedgehog armor before we continue fighting." Huang Rong replied, "Sure, but you must first slice off those 3 lumps on your forehead. If not, then it's also unfair." Ho Tonghai retorted, "My 3 lumps do not hurt anyone." "I feel disgusted when I see them. Isn't that letting you have a huge advantage? On the count of 3, you slice off your lumps, and I'll take off my armor." "I will not." "It's a very good trade-off. I think you should." "I will not fall for your tricks. I won't slice them off no matter what you say." Ouyangke saw that the battle was not going well, and thought, "I'll kill these 6 scoundrels first. That wretch is unable to escape anyway. We can finish her off later." Wanting to show off his skills, he pointed both feet and displayed his family's 1,000 miles in a flash, a superior Qinggong technique, and promptly appeared beside Ku Zheng-e. He shouted, "Blind scoundrel! I'll let you have a taste of your master's prowess for being such a busybody." Moving forward, Ouyang-ku struck out his right palm. Ku Zheng-e roused the end of his staff to meet the strike, but caught nothing, only the sound of wind brushing past his right ear. Instead, the real attack came from the left, with Ouyang-ku's reversed left palm flying towards him. Ku Zheng-e dipped his head to avoid being struck, then used the diamond guard staff technique and fiercely attacked forward. But by this time, Ouyang-ku was already embroiled with Nian Xiren. Skillfully weaving his way through, Ouyang-ku had already attempted fatal blows on all 6 freaks within a short period of time. From the beginning, Liang Zhuwang's vision never shifted from Guo Jing. Upon seeing that the 6 freaks' defeat was imminent, he immediately tried to grab Guo Jing with both outstretched arms. Guo Jing hurriedly resisted, but of course he was not Liang Zhuwang's match. After exchanging a few moves, Liang Zhuwang had successfully grabbed him by the chest and with his right hand gripped Guo Jing's stomach. Oh no. Guo Jing shrunk his stomach in anxiety, and his clothes tore with a ripping sound. The bags of medicine had been snatched away. Liang Zhuwang knew the bags contained medicine. He had sniffed it out long ago, and now conveniently pocketed them, followed by a second strike on Guo Jing. Guo Jing successfully struggled out of the grip on his chest and sprinted towards Mei Qiaofeng, yelling, "Hey, save me, quick!" Mei Qiaofeng thought to herself, "There are still many things I don't understand about that mysterious school of Neigong." Panting, she said aloud, "Come, hold my legs. Don't be afraid of that old bat." Guo Jing knew to hold her legs was easy, but to escape after that would be hard. Thus, he did not dare to go close to her, instead sprinting wildly around her in circles. Though Guo Jing had already entered the perimeter of her silver whip, Liang Zhuwang still followed him relentlessly. Nonetheless, still wary of a sneak attack, Mei Qiaofeng pinpointed Guo Jing's position with her hearing and unleashed her silver whip across the floor and towards his legs. Although Huang Rong was engaged in a duel with Ho Tonghai, she already had the upper hand with her soft hedgehog armor and had always been looking out for Guo Jing. First, he was captured by Liang Zhuwang, but she was too far away to help and was anxious to the extreme. Then Guo Jing sprinted into Mei Qiaofeng's perimeter. Her whip was flying towards him, and he was unable to dodge. Out of anxiety, Huang Rong flew in their direction and threw herself in front of the whip. Mei Qiaofeng's silver whip withdrew itself upon hitting a target and circled back, wrapping itself around Huang Rong's waist. Huang Rong was thrown up into the air and shouted, "You dare hurt me, Mei Ruohua?" Mei Qiaofeng heard that it was Huang Rong's voice, and this gave her a huge shock. She thought, "My whip is littered with reverse hooks. Now that I've injured her, Master has more reason not to spare me. But I have already gone this far, and either way, I have already betrayed my school. I'll kill her first." Oh no. Rousing her silver whip, she pulled Huang Rong closer towards her and rested her on the ground. Thinking that all the hooks must have torn deeply into her flesh by now, she never expected the hooks to tear only Huang Rong's clothes, leaving her body completely unharmed. Wait, her clothes? Huang Rong said laughingly, "You tore my clothes. I want compensation." Okay, so is she naked except for her hedgehog armor? Mei Qiaofeng was surprised to hear no hint of pain in her voice, then thought, Master has naturally given her his soft hedgehog armor. Feeling lenient, she said aloud, "That was my fault. I will return you a nice set of a nice new set of clothing. Hong Rong signaled for Guo Jing to come over, and he did so. The two of them now stood 10 feet or so within Mei Chao Feng, somewhere Liang Zuwang did not dare to venture. Over at the other end, the 6 freaks of Jiangnan had formed a tight circle with their backs towards each other's, and were trying their best to resist Xia Tongqian, Peng Lianhu, Ouyangke, and Ho Tonghai. This was a formation they had mastered in the deserts of Mongolia. When faced with tough opponents, this formation made it unnecessary for them to defend their backs and instantly increased their power by half. But Xia, Peng, and Ouyang were simply too strong, and the dangers came in all directions. The 6 freaks were far from their match. Not long after, Han Baoju's arm was injured. Han Baoju knew that if he left the formation, there would be a loophole for their opponents to exploit. Their lives and Guo Jing's life would be in grave danger. Thus, he could only grit his teeth and hold on with great effort. The more they say soft hedgehog armor, the funnier the image becomes in your mind. Yeah, what does it look like in your mind? Like hedgehog spines? Among their opponents, Peng Lianhu was the most vicious in his attacks and repeatedly targeted Han Baoju. Guo Jing saw that the situation was urgent and rushed towards them with flying feet. With a double palm technique separating cloud and moon, he aimed for Peng Lianhu's back. Peng Lianhu let out a chilling laugh and with a wave of his hand dismissed Guo Jing's attack. In just 3 moves, Guo Jing found himself in a state of emergency. Hong Rong saw that he was unable to escape, and in her anxiety, suddenly remembered the saying, "A simple man is sinless, but a man wearing a piece of jade will be sinned against." Thus she yelled, "Mei Chao Feng, you stole my father's Chu Yin Sutra. Hand it to me now so I can return it to father." At this, Mei Chao Feng went cold and did not respond. Xia Tongqian, Peng Lianhu, Ouyangke, and Liang Zuwang immediately shifted their attention to Mei Chao Feng and attacked. All 4 harbored the same thought. The Ju Yin Sutra is the world's top martial arts manual, so it really has been with the twin killers of the Dark Winds all along. At present, all 4 couldn't care less about anything else. Their only focus was to kill Mei Chao Feng and obtain the Ju Yin Sutra. Mei Chao Feng began brandishing her silver whip, and for the moment none of them dared to venture within its perimeter. Seeing them being lured away by the Ju Yin Sutra, Hong Rong whispered to Guo Jing urgently, "Let's go." At this moment, a figure emerged from the thicket and was hurrying towards them. It shouted, "Gentlemen, father requires your help with something urgent." The person wore a gold cap crookedly on his head, and his voice was filled with worry. He was none other than the little prince Wen Yankang. Peng Lianhu and the others all thought, "Prince Zhao has been generous in exchange for our services. Now that there is something urgent, how can we not go to his aid?" At this thought, they backed off reluctantly, not bearing to give up the Ju Yin Sutra. Their gaze still lingered on Mei Chao Feng. Wen Yankang said softly, My mother has been abducted by villains. Father has requested that you help to rescue her. Please, set off at once." Wen Yan Honglia had originally led his troops out of the palace to chase Bao Shiruo, but they lost sight of her after a while. Remembering the resourceful pugilists in his residence, he hurriedly sent his son to summon them. Wen Yankang was caught up in anxiety, and the night was dark, so he did not notice Mei Chao Feng seated on the ground. Peng Lianhu and the others thought, "Oh my, the consort has been abducted. If we don't go to her rescue, what are we here for?" They further thought, "It must be the 7 freaks. 6 of them have led us here to distract us. allowing the other to go abduct the consort. This Jiu Yin Sutra or whatever will have to wait. Anyway, with so many accomplished fighters around, I can't hope to claim the sutra for myself. I'll need to come up with a plan some other time. With that, they hurriedly followed Wan Yankang. They all left. Liang Zuwang trailed behind, still longing for the blood in Guo Jing's body. He actually didn't care about rescuing the consort, but was alone in wanting to stay behind, and so he had no choice but to follow miserably. Ah, poor guy. He just wanted to suck Guo Jing's blood. That's all he wants to do, guys. Guo Jing called, "Hey, return me my medicine!" Fuming, Liang Zuwang turned and fired a bone-penetrating projectile straight at his head. The projectile cut through the night wind with incredible strength. Zhu Tong dashed forward and deflected the projectile with the handle of his fan. As it fell, he caught it with his left hand and held it to his nose to have a sniff. "Ah," he said, "seals throats when it sees blood, this bone-penetrating meridian nail." Hearing the name of his secret weapon startled Liang Zuwang. He spun around and yelled, "What?" Zhu Tong went up to him and stretched out his palm, the meridian nail resting on it. He said lightly, "I'll give it back to you, old mister." Liang Zuwang retrieved it calmly. He knew that with Zhu Tong's low level of Wugong, he could not harm him. Zhu Tong saw that Liang Zuwang's left sleeve was dirtied with mud and grass, and used his own sleeve to swipe the dirt away. "Oh, hey, Losh, thanks so much for the super chat." You can't find a hedgehog sticker? Too bad. Liang Zuwang said angrily, "I don't need your boot licking." With that, he turned around and left. Guo Jing was in a miserable position. If he went back just like that, without the medicine, all the night's misadventures would have been for naught. But if he tried to snatch it forcefully, he would undoubtedly be defeated by Liang Zuwang. He was just hesitating when Ku Zheng-e said, "Let's go back." Ku Zheng-e leapt to the top of the palace walls, and the other 5 freaks followed suit. Pointing at Mei Chaofeng, Han Xiaoying said, "Elder brother, what about her?" Ku Zheng-e replied, "We promised Priest Ma to spare her life." Hong Rong did not acknowledge the 6 freaks and leapt onto the other end of the wall, grinning. Art Katie, you don't know what's happening? Yeah. You dropped in right in the middle of things, so yep. We're at chapter 11 of this whole novel. Mei Chaofeng hollered, "Little Marshal sister, where is master?" Hong Rong giggled and said, "Ha ha ha, of course my father is in Peach Blossom Island. Why do you ask? Are you going to pay him a visit?" Mei Chaofeng seethed, her breath growing heavier and quicker. After a moment, she said, "Didn't you just say that master was on his way here?" Still laughing, Hong Rong replied, "He doesn't know you're here, but rest assured I'll tell him for you. I'm sure he'll come straight away. Don't worry, I'm not bluffing." Enraged, Mei Chaofeng propped herself up with both hands and sprung up suddenly. With staggering steps, she charged towards Hong Rong. Originally, Mei Chaofeng had lost the use of her legs as a result of forcefully practicing the Neigong she didn't understand. A stream of qi had flowed down to her lower dantian and was unable to work its way back up, paralyzing her lower body with numbness. She had stubbornly continued attempting to work the qi back upwards, but the harder she tried, the stronger the resistance met. Presently, her senses were consumed with fury, so much so that she forgot about her paralysis. Wait, is that how it works? She was so mad that she stopped being paralyzed. She was in a state where she had disengaged from herself, her body. She was only aware of a violent surge of anger rushing up to her heart. Suddenly, her legs had become part of her body again, and she charged towards Huang Rong. Shocked that Mei Chaofeng had regained the use of her legs, Huang Rong leapt down to the other side and took flight into the night. Suddenly, regaining her senses, Mei Chaofeng thought, "Eh? How come I can walk now?" With this thought, a sudden wave of numbness washed over her legs, and she fell, losing consciousness. Okay, that was kind of weird. All right. Good time for a 5-minute break. I will be right back. All right, we back. Okay. So Mei Chaofeng just fainted. She's like, "Huh? I can walk now?" And she faints. For the 6 freaks to kill her now was a piece of cake, but they had a prior agreement with Ma Yu to spare her life. Thus, they leapt over the wall and left the palace together with Guo Jing. Han Xiaoying was the most anxious and hurriedly asked, "Jing'er, how did you end up here?" And so Guo Jing roughly narrated the events leading up to now. Wang Chuyi coming to his rescue, getting poisoned at Wan Yankang's banquet, stealing the medicine, bumping into Mei Chaofeng in the tunnel, etc. For the moment, however, he did not mention the Young family saga. Ju Tong said, "Let's hurry and see how Priest Wang is coping." Having just been reunited with his wife, young Tiexin felt an inexpressible mixture of joy and sadness. Carrying her in his arms, he leapt out of the palace. His foster daughter, Mu Nianzu, was anxiously waiting outside the palace walls when she saw him carrying a woman in his arms. Okay, so husband and wife have been reunited. Let's see what happens. Surprised and curious, she asked, "Father, who is she?" Yang Tiexin replied, "She's your mother. Let's go." Mu Nianzu said, bewildered, "My mother?" Yang Tiexin said, "Hush, we'll talk afterwards," and sprinted off urgently. After a distance, Bao Shiruo slowly regained consciousness. It was near daybreak, and in the dim light, she saw that the person bearing her was the husband she had been thinking of day and night for 18 years. She didn't know if it was real or just an illusion, but she felt like she was in a dream and reached out to caress his face. Her voice quivered as she spoke. "Tiege, am I dead too?" Someone is spamming 100s. Oh yeah, who is that? Who is that? Keep going. Tearing joyfully, he replied in a gentle voice, "Both of us are alive and well." His sentence was interrupted by shouts from behind. Light from torches lit the area as soldiers streamed quickly forward. Raising their swords and spears together, they yelled, "Don't let the consort's kidnapper escape!" Oh no, what do you think, guys? Are they gonna die? I predict that they will die in this chapter. Okay, let's see what happens. Young Tiexin quickly surveyed their surroundings, but there was no place they could hide. He thought, at least one of them would die. I think both of them would die, though. But at least one. He thought, "The heavens have pitied us, husband and wife, and allowed us to reunite against the odds. Even if I were to die now, I have nothing left to wish for." He called to Mu Nianzu, "Here, hold your mother." The scene at Linan, Ox Village 18 years ago, suddenly sprung into Bao Shiruo's mind. Her husband fleeing with her in his arms, the cries of soldiers in the night, and the 18 years of separation and grief that followed after. Sensing that the tragedy was to repeat itself, she held on stubbornly to her husband, refusing to let go. The soldiers were nearing, and young Tiexin thought that it was better to die fighting than to be captured and humiliated. Oh no. With that, he pried his wife's fingers away and entrusted her in Mu Nianzu's arms. Turning around, he charged towards the soldiers. Don't do that. And with a fist, knocked out a foot soldier and seized his spear. With a spear in hand, okay, so the spear is his weapon, okay? He's very good with it. Yang Tiexin was even more lethal. The troop's commander, Tang Zude, was speared in the leg and fell promptly off his horse. With the leader down, the rest of the soldiers scampered away in all directions. On seeing that there were no skilled pugilists among them, young Tiexin felt slightly more settled, only that it was a pity not to have been able to grab a horse. The three of them continued their escape. By this time, it was already morning. Bao Shiruo noticed the bloodstains on her husband's clothes and said, frightened, "Are you hurt?" Hearing this, young Tiexin was suddenly aware of a sharp pain in his arm. Because he had exerted too much strength during the fight, the wound from Wan Yankang's claws had burst and was now bleeding profusely again. Earlier on, he had been fixated with escaping and was not aware of the pain, but now both arms felt stiff and weak, and he was unable to lift them. Bao Shiruo was about to bandage his wounds when loud cries came from behind, and in the dust countless soldiers were yet emerging in pursuit. With a bitter smile, young Tiexin said, "No need to bandage." He turned and said to Mu Nianzu, "Child, run for your life. Your mother and I will just stay here." Mu Nianzu successfully fought back tears and raised her head proudly, saying, "The three of us will die together." Confused, Bao Shiruo asked, How is she our daughter?" Young Tiexin was just about to answer when he heard the soldiers nearing. Looking up, he saw two Taoist priests coming towards them. One had a white beard and brows and looked kindly. The other had a long black beard and slung a long sword over his back, and he looked grand and dignified. Great delight replaced his initial astonishment, and young Tiexin called out, "Priest Chu, we meet again!" Oh, yay. One of the two priests, one was the Scarlet Sun Ma Yu. Okay, he's not the son of the Red Sun. Perhaps they fell asleep with their thumb on the screen. Yeah, who's doing the 100? Can you do that? Let me try. You have to keep pressing, right? You can't just hold on to it. Oh, fuck. I screwed something up on my end. Oh, okay, I see. You don't have to press it. You just hover over the emotes, I think. Wait, no. Never mind. I don't know. Okay. Of the two priests, one was the Scarlet Sun, Ma Yu, and the other was the Eternal Spring, Chu Chu Ji. The two of them, together with the Jade Sun, Wang Chuyi, had arranged to meet in Zhongdu to discuss the upcoming duel with the seven freaks of Jiangnan. Both had hurried here and chanced upon the youngs. Chu Chu Chi had an accomplished level of Neigong, and thus his appearance did not age much over the 18 years. Wow. Only the hair on his temples were speckled with white. Where can I learn that technique? Upon hearing this greeting, he looked more closely, but it was someone he did not recognize. Young Tiexin said, 18 years ago, at Ox Village in Linan. We once drank and killed enemies together. Do you still remember? Chu Chuchi said, You are... Yang Jiexin declared, I am Yang Jiexin. Have you been well? Yang Jiexin approached him and bowed. Chu Chuchi hurriedly returned the formality, but still harbored doubts. 18 years of hardship and grief had eroded his youthful appearance, and Yang Jiexin looked vastly different from before. Yang Jiexin sensed his doubts, but the soldiers were nearing, and it was not a good time to clarify in detail. Raising his spear, he displayed Phoenix striking head. The red tassel trembled as the spear headed for Chu Chuchi's chest, and he said, Priest Chu, you may have forgotten me, but you can't have forgotten the Yang family's spear. The spear froze inches away from Chu Chuchi. Chu Chuchi saw that this was indeed the authentic Yang family spear, and immediately recalled that night's fight in the snow. It was indeed Yang Jiexin from 18 years ago, and a bittersweet feeling washed over him. He said loudly, Ha ha! Brother Yang, you're still alive! Thank heavens! Yang Jiexin withdrew his spear and says, Priest Chu, save me! Chu Chuchi glanced at the approaching soldiers and said jovially, Elder Martial Brother, I'm going to start killing again today. Don't get angry. Ma Yu replied, Kill less, just scare them off. Chu Chuchi laughed loudly and took a huge step forward. With a stretch of both arms, he plucked 2 soldiers off their horses and flung them towards another 2 soldiers behind. He's just throwing people. The 4 soldiers knocked against each other and fell in a heap. Chu Chuchi's arms moved at the speed of lightning and, like a cannon, had fired 8 more soldiers towards another 8. I'm just trying to picture that. Must look really badass. Terrified, the other soldiers turned their horses and fled. Suddenly, a chiefly figure with a bald and shiny head emerged from behind the fleeing soldiers. He bellowed, Where has this scoundrel come from? With a slight sway of his body, he had already stole up to Chu Chuchi and attacked with his palms. Chu Chuchi saw that this person was highly agile. Raising his palms to obstruct the attack, their palms met with a clap, and both subsequently withdrew 3 paces. Surprised, Chu Chuchi thought to himself, Who is this person with such good kung fu? Little did he know that the Dragon King of Hades, Sha Tongtian, was concealing the pain in his arms from their exchange, and was even more surprised than he. With an angry roar, Sha Tongtian swung his fist forward. Roar! Chu Chuchi did not dare to be sluggish, and with full might and concentration, sent both palms darting straight at Sha Tongtian. After exchanging 10 moves or so, Chu Chuchi successfully brushed his palm against Sha Tongtian, left 5 streaks of red on his bald head. Though Sha Tongtian could not see the marks, he could feel a stinging pain coming from the top of his head. Sup, Malik? Glad you could join. Knowing that he would not be able to beat this Taoist empty-handed, he immediately pulled an iron stick from behind. This weapon was heavy, but its power was great, and with a reviving chin behind the sword, the stick struck in the direction of Chu Chuchi's shoulder. Chu Chuchi greeted the attack with his technique of seizing weapons with bare hands, but Sha Tongtian had been using this weapon for more than 10 years, and had extraordinary skill with it, and Chu Chuchi failed in his attempt. Deep down, Chu Chuchi marveled at this, and was just about to ask for his name, when someone from the left shouted, Who is this priest from Chenjin's sect? This voice carried immense power. Chu Chuchi leapt towards his right and saw 4 people. It was Peng Lianhu, Ouyangke, Liang Ziwang, and Hou Tonghai. Chu Chuchi cupped his fist and said, My surname is Chu. May I know your names? Chu Chuji's mighty name was well known and feared in the northern and southern parts. Sha Tongtian and the others all thought, no wonder he is so famous. He is indeed powerful. Peng Lianhu thought, we've already injured Wang Chuyi and forged animosity with the Qianjin sect. If we combine forces and kill Chu Chuchi today, our names will travel far and wide. He shouted, everyone attack together! Before he even finished pronouncing the last word, Peng Lianhu had already retrieved his judgmental twin brush and advanced towards Chu Chuji. He knew this opponent was powerful and was vicious on the onslaught, targeting his Yunmen acupoint at the top and his Taihu acupoint below. These two hits came in full force and left no room for mercy. Chu Chuji thought to himself, this shorty is impudent. To be fair, his skills are also above average. With a swiping sound, he drew out his sword and pierced Peng Lianhu's right arm, scraped Sha Tongtian's waist, and, collecting back the sword, sent its hilt ramming into the critical Changmen acupoint at the side of Ho Tonghai's rib. With one move, he has struck 3 people. Oh, he's pretty good. Displaying amazing skill with the sword, Sha Tongtian and Peng Lianhu propped themselves up with their weapons. Ho Tonghai had narrowly missed, having his acupoint blocked, and managed to withdraw quickly. But alas, a heavy kick on the buttocks sent him flying to the ground. Call it a coincidence, but he landed straight on the 3 lumps on his head. Inwardly shaken, Liang Zuwang propelled himself forward like a monkey and attacked. Ouyangke saw that Chu Chuji was occupied with Sha Tongtian and Peng Lianhu, and now Liang Zuwang had also joined in. It was an advantage that just begged to be taken, and if not now, when? Brandishing a void move with his left hand, his right hand moved to block Chu Chuji's Tao Dao, Hunmen, and Zhongshu acupoints with his iron fan. It seemed like Chu Chuji had no way out when a figure shifted beside him, and in a flash, a single hand reached out and halted the passage of his fan. So it was that Ma Yu had been observing in silence by the stands and was flabbergasted when a group of highly skilled pugilists ganged up against his younger martial brother. With just 3 fingers, he had trapped the fan. Ouyangke immediately felt a surge of formidable inner power coming from the handle of his fan, and quickly leapt backwards in astonishment. Ma Yu did not pursue him, but said, Gentlemen, may I know who you are? We have never met. If there has been some misunderstanding, we can talk it over. Why resort to violence? Though his tone was gentle, his voice carried abundant qi. The projection for each word was crystal clear and bore straight into their eardrums. Sha Tongtian and the others were immersed in their fighting when Ma Yu's sentences made them go cold. They collectively ceased fighting and withdrew, appraising Ma Yu. Ouyangke said, Priest, what is your revered name? Ma Yu replied, My surname is Ma. Peng Lianhu said, Ah, so it is the Scarlet Sun Reverend, Priest Ma. We have been rude. Ma Yu replied, With my shallow cultivation, how dare I claim the title of Reverend? Though Peng Lianhu coded his words with politeness, inwardly he was thinking, since we have already created a grudge with the Qianjin sect, it is unlikely that there will be any goodwill to forgive and forget. These 2 characters are the main pillars of the Qianjin sect, and we have fortunately caught one of them. We caught them alone. If we join forces and finish them off today, we will have less to worry about in the future. I just wonder if there are any skilled pugilists from the Chen sect in the vicinity. A quick look around revealed only the 3 members of the young family. There were no other priests around. Peng Lianhu said, I have long admired the great name of the Chen 7. Where are the other 5? How about inviting them here so we can meet them? Ma Yu replied, Instead of concentrating on cultivation, my martial brothers have often meddled in worldly affairs and earned themselves an empty reputation. I'm afraid they have made a fool of themselves. The 7 of us live in separate Taoist monasteries and hardly gather together. I have made this trip to Zhongdu with my martial brother Chu to look for our martial brother Wang, and by chance met all of you. All the world's martial arts branch from the same stem, white red lotus or white root. We all come from the same family. Since we have affinity, how about becoming friends? Being honest by nature, Ma Yu never expected that Peng Lianhu was merely sounding him out. Hearing that there were indeed no Chen pugilists nearby, Peng Lianhu thought they could win with numbers. Not only that, the 2 priests had yet to meet up with Wang Chuyi, and Ma Yu was trusting and off guard. All Peng Lianhu had to do was keep up this friendly pretense, and they would be able to pull a sneak attack. Beaming, he said, We are honored that Priest Chu and Ma do not look down on us, and to be friends would be fantastic. My name is Sun. My full name is Sun Hei Mao. Sun Hei Mao means 3 black cats, apparently. At this, Ma Yu and Qiu Chuji were both startled, thinking, This person's kung fu is impressive, so his name must be famous. But this name, Sun Hei Mao, is so strange, and I've never heard of it. Peng Lianhu tucked his judgmental twin brushes back into his waist and approached Ma Yu. He said, smiling, Nice to meet you, Priest Ma. Cool name. Yeah, that's cool. Cool name, Neko-chan. Neko-chan 62. Yeah, I bet you like that name. He stretched out his hand for a handshake. Unsuspectingly. Wait, why is he so trusting? Unsuspectingly, Ma Yu reached out to shake his hand, but the moment their hands touched, he suddenly felt Peng Lianhu's grip tighten. Ma Yu thought, trying to test my kung fu. He merely smiled and applied his internal energy in response, squeezing Peng Lianhu's hand. Suddenly, an intense pain drilled into his 5 fingertips, and it felt as if he was pierced by many steel needles. He quickly withdrew his hand, astonished. Peng Lianhu burst out laughing and retreated a few feet. Ma Yu raised his palm and saw that all 5 fingertips had been punctured with holes that went deep into his flesh, lined with black. Oh no, he's poisoned so easily. So it was that when Peng Lianhu was keeping his judgmental twin brushes, he had secretly slipped on his special poison needle bangle on his right hand. Made from refined steel, this bangle was as slender as a thread, and on it were 5 thin needles armed with lethal poison. Are all 7 going to get poisoned? I hope not. As long as the needles penetrated the flesh and drew blood, the victim would undoubtedly die within 10 hours. Oh no. Peng Lianhu usually wore this bangle to increase the potency of his palm attacks when exchanging blows, thus ensuring that his opponent would not live beyond half a day. He had also deliberately introduced himself as 3 black cats, Sun Hei Mao, so that while Qiu Chuji and Ma Yu were busy being astounded, he could seize the chance and sneak an attack. Characters of the pugilists often harbor no admiration for one another on the first meeting, but tact and face, made public aggression improper. Thus, they would often reach out for a handshake in the guise of friendliness, but in actuality, it was a duel of sorts. It was not unusual for the inferior fighter to have his bones broken and his hand swollen, or beg for mercy when the pain became too much. Ma Yu only thought that Peng Lianhu was practicing the old pugilist habit of being friendly on the surface, but secretly appraising each other's strength. He never thought that Peng Lianhu would have another vicious trick up his sleeve. Thus, when both of them exerted strength, the 5 poisonous needles not only pierced his fingertips, but sunk straight down to the bones of his fingers. By the time Ma Yu realized what had happened and struck forward with his right palm, Peng Lianhu had already leapt away. All Qiu Chuji knew was that his elder martial brother had been normally shaking hands with someone when suddenly his facial expression changed and he attacked. Qiu Chuji hurriedly asked, "What happened?" Ma Yu replied angrily, "Crafty scoundrel! He poisoned me!" With that, he advanced towards Peng Lianhu. Qiu Chuji had always known his elder martial brother to be tolerant and had never seen him attack anyone in over 10 years. Yet, at this moment, he had opened his attack with the most formidable of Chen Jin's skills, the 3 flowers atop palm technique. Qiu Chuji knew it must have taken a great reason for him to be so furious, and thus, with the flick of his sword, weaved left and right to reach Peng Lianhu. With a quick swish, 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 he had dealt him 3 strokes. By this time, Peng Lianhu had already retrieved his twin brushes and successfully deflected 2 of Qiu Chuji's strokes, while managing to steal a strike with 1 brush. But Peng Lianhu never expected Qiu Chuji's palm technique to be as ferocious as his sword. In that very instant, when he was about to withdraw his brush, but not yet, Qiu Chuji had reached out and grabbed it by the tip. He shouted, "Withdraw!" Combining the internal power and external force, Qiu Chuji tried to rupture the brush, but despite using full energy, Peng Lianhu was a formidable opponent and did not allow the brush to shatter. Qiu Chuji followed by steering his sword straight forward, and Peng Lianhu had no choice but to let go of his brush and evade. With the sword in his right hand and palm technique on his left, Qiu Chuji kept up the attack ceaselessly. Peng Lianhu had lost 1 brush, and his right arm was also feeling stiff and weak. Having lost sharpness, he continuously retreated. At this point, Xia Tongtian and Liang Zuwang were embroiled with Ma Yu. Ouyang Ke and Hou Tonghai came forward to aid Peng Lianhu, one on the left and the other on the right. Faced with strong opponents, Qiu Chuji felt even more energetic. With gliding palms and flashing sword, the more he fought, the swifter his attacks became. Qiu Chuji was fighting 3 people by himself, and yet had not lost the advantage. But over at the other end, Ma Yu was having trouble sustaining the situation. His right palm was already swollen and besieged with numbness and itch as the poison gradually took effect. Though he knew that the needle was poisoned, he never expected such drastic reaction. He understood that the more he exerted himself, the faster his blood would circulate, and the quicker the poison would attack his heart. Immediately, he sat down and engaged his internal energy to halt the poison's passage, while wielding a sword in his left hand for self-protection. Liang Zuwang's weapon was a shovel, similar to the ones used for exhumation. Between slamming vertically and scooping horizontally, at times sweeping across and at times hitting directly. The variations in attack were plentiful. Xia Tongtian's iron stick was all the more heavy and dangerous. After 10 moves or so, Ma Yu's breathing was hastening, and his defensive circle shrinking. Inwardly resisting the poison and outwardly defending against two enemies, he soon felt lethargic, despite having an accomplished level of internal energy. Oh no, he's losing. Chu-Chu-Ji was shocked at the sight of his elder martial brother seated on the floor with hot air rising slowly from his head, as if he were being steamed. He wanted to quickly finish off his three opponents and rush forward to aid him, but these opponents were sticky, and he could not spare a moment to pause his attack and escape. Admittedly, Peng Lianhu was a weaker fighter, but Ouyang-ku was proficient in both internal energy and external moves. His attacks were both fierce and unusual, and in terms of ability, he was way above Peng Lianhu. From what Chu-Chu-Chi could tell, Ouyang-ku's kung fu looked similar to that of the Western Poison, someone the Chen-Jin sect had always feared the most. This startled him, and he thought, "Who is this person? Could he be a disciple of the Western Poison? Has the Western Poison arrived at the Central Plains? I wonder if he's actually right here in Zhongdu." While following this train of thought, he momentarily lost concentration and repeatedly encountered close shaves. Yang Tiexian knew in his heart that the skills of these two priests were way above his, but upon seeing both of them in danger, he immediately lifted his spear and stabbed towards Ouyang-ku's back. Chu-Chu-Ji yelled, "Brother Yang, don't throw your life away in vain!" By the time he finished his sentence, Ouyang-ku had already broken the spear with his left foot and kicked Yang Tiexian to the ground with his right. At this very moment, there emerged the sound of hooves. A great number of horses were galloping swiftly towards them. Leading the way were none other than Wanyan Honglie and Wanyan Kang, father and son. Oh no! I know it. Wanyan Kang is going to kill his father. He will. He's going to do it. Wanyan Honglie caught sight of his wife seated on the ground from a distance. Delighted, he hurried to her, but suddenly a blade sliced through the air and came hacking right at him. Slanting his body to avoid the blow, he saw that the wielder of the blade was a young girl dressed in red. At this point, his soldiers came forward and started fighting Mu Nianzi. Over at the other end, Wanyan Kang was secretly startled on seeing his master and shouted, "We're all on the same side! Everyone stop fighting!" Only after repeating a few times did Peng Lianhu and the others finally retreat. The soldiers and Mu Nianzi also halted. Wanyan Kang approached Chu-Chu-Ji and bowed. "Master, let your disciple do the introductions," he said. "These are all senior pugilists engaged by my father." Chu-Chu-Ji nodded and went to check on his elder martial brother. Ma Yu's right palm was blackened all over, and lifting up his sleeve, Chu-Chu-Ji saw that the blackness had spread all the way to the upper part of his arm. Astonished, he said, "How come the poison is like that?" Turning around, he said to Peng Lianhu, "Hand over the antidote." Peng Lianhu hesitated, thinking, "Just a little while more and this person will die, but it won't be appropriate to offend the little prince. Should I save him or should I not?" Now that Ma Yu had no more enemies attacking him, he concentrated all his internal energy on resisting the poison. And sure enough, the poison halted at his arm and could not travel further upwards. Instead, the blackness gradually started moving downwards. All right. Good night, Art Katie. Glad you could join for a little bit. Have a good one. Wanyan Kang rushed over to his mother and exclaimed, "Mother, I finally found you." Bao Shiruo was frightened and replied, "Do not ask me to return to the palace. I will never." Shocked, Wanyan Honglia and Wanyan Kang said in unison, "What?" Bao Shiruo pointed at Yang Tiexin. "My husband is actually still alive, and I will follow him to the ends of the earth," she said. This came as no ordinary blow to Wanyan Honglia, and he suddenly mouthed something to Liang Zuwang. Liang Zuwang understood the prince's intentions and hoisted his right hand, sending 3 of his bone-penetrating meridian nails flying towards Yang Tiexian's essential junctures. Chu Chuchi saw the flight of the nails, but it was too late for him to do anything, and Yang Tiexian would surely not be able to evade. Having no projectiles with him, he grabbed the Jin soldier out of desperation and hurled him towards the space between Liang Zuwang and Yang Tiexian. With a loud "ah!" the 3 meridian nails had struck the soldiers. Wow, good job. That poor Jin soldier just standing in the wrong place. Liang Zuwang prided his bone-penetrating meridian nails as his greatest skill. Having fired 3 nails simultaneously, it was absurd to think he would miss the target. Seeing that Chu Chuchi had foiled his move in such a peculiar way, he roared angrily and attacked. Peng Lianhu saw this and decided against giving the antidote, knowing that the little prince's priority was rescuing his mother. He leapt forward abruptly and grabbed hold of Bao Shiruo's arm. With 2 swishing sounds, Chu Chuchi sent his sword piercing towards both Liang Zuwang and Peng Lianhu. Both saw that the strokes came fierce and were forced backwards. Chu Chuchi thundered at Wanyan Kang. "Ignorant boy! You have called your enemy father and led 18 years of your life in folly. Now that your real father is here, aren't you going to acknowledge him?" Having heard it from his mother, Wanyan Kang was already 80% convinced. Hearing it from his master now further reinforced his belief, and he glanced at Yang Tiexin. What do you guys think he's going to do? Wanyan Kang saw that his clothes were old and tattered, and his face smeared with dirt. Turning around, he saw his father, wearing fine embroidered robes and expensive jewels, looking handsome and refined. There was a world of difference between these 2 men. Yes, there is. Wanyan Kang contemplated in his heart, Am I actually going to give up this life of luxury and riches and roam the streets with this poor man? No, never." His mind was made up. Well, that was quick. What a terrible dude. "Master, don't listen to this person's nonsense," said Wanyan Kang. "Please help to rescue my mother." "You still stubbornly refuse to listen. You're worse than a beast," Chu Chuchi replied angrily. Upon seeing that master and pupil had fallen out, Peng Lianhu and the others started to attack even more fiercely. Wanyan Kang knew Chu Chuchi was in danger, but did not attempt to stop the fight again. Chu Chuchi was enraged and shouted, "Little bastard, you really have no conscience!" Wanyan Kang had already been very afraid of his master, and secretly hoped that Peng Lianhu and the rest would kill him to avoid any trouble in the future. Shortly into the battle, Chu Chuchi was struck by Liang Zuwang's spade, and though it wasn't serious, blood had seeped through his robes. From the corner of his eye, he saw a hint of delight in Wanyan Kang's face, and he was further incensed, swearing left and right and center. Ma Yu retrieved a sparkler from his robes and tossed it in the air, sending a blue blaze soaring through the sky. Peng Lianhu thought it must be a communicative signal for the Chenjian sex's members, and alerted, "The old priest is sending for help." "What's up, Sunny Side Up? How you doing?" After exchanging a few more moves, another blue blaze emerged from the northwestern corner, not far from here. Younger martial brother Wang is nearby, said Chu Chu Ji in delight, switching his sword over to his left hand. Well, this guy's ambidextrous. He attacked from the top with his sword and from the bottom with his right palm, executing 7 or 8 fatal moves one after another, and forced his enemies steadily backwards. Ma Yu pointed to the blue glow in the northwestern direction and said, "Go in that direction." Weapons in hand, Yang Jiexin and Mu Nianzu rushed in that direction, while guarding Bao Shi Ruo. Ma Yu followed closely behind. Chu Chu Ji interrupted his sword mid-move, and in the next instant he had also turned to leave. Xia Tongtian repeatedly employed his shapeshift technique, hoping to bypass Chu Chu Ji and snatch Bao Shi Ruo over. But Chu Chu Ji's sword was too swift, and he did not succeed. It was not long before they arrived at the small inn where Wang Chuyi was staying. Okay. Let's see what happens now. And Chu Chu Ji wondered to himself, why hasn't younger martial brother Wang come out to greet us? Just after this thought, Wang Chuyi came walking unsteadily towards them, supported by a wooden stick. At the sight of each other, all 3 martial brothers were shocked to see that the Chenjin sex's top 3 pugilists were all injured. Chu Chu Ji called out, "Retreat back to the inn. Hand the consort over in one piece, and I'll spare your lives," Wenyan Honglia hollered. "Who needs your mercy, you treacherous Jin dog?" Chu Chu Ji shot back. He raised his sword and started fighting. Okay, so where has Chu Chu Ji been all this time? Because he let Wen Yan Kang just stay for 18 years with Wen Yan Honglia. Yeah, what has he been doing the past 18 years? Despite being exhausted, Chu Chu Ji still refused to yield, and his swordplay remained as enthralling as ever. Seeing this, Peng Lianhu and the others were all secretly impressed. Yang Jiexin contemplated, "Since things have already come to this, it will not be easy to escape our end. We mustn't implicate Priest Chu's life for us husband and wife." Grasping Bao Shi Ruo's hand, he stepped forward. "Everyone, stop fighting," he yelled. "My wife and I will end our lives here, and let that be the end of it." Raising his spear, he stabbed it towards his heart. With a "pooh" sound, blood spattered in all directions, and he fell backwards. Bao Shi Ruo felt no sadness. With a bitter smile, she pulled the spear out from her husband's body and propped it on the floor, saying to Wan Yan Kang, "Child, you still don't believe he's your real father?" She leaned forward and sank into the tip of the spear. No, okay. Okay, they do die, but Wan Yan Kang does not kill his father. Okay, I was wrong about that. Oh no. Bells. He killed his father via inaction, though. Yeah, true. He didn't directly kill his father, but he indirectly did. Yeah. The color flew from Wan Yan Kang's face in horror. "Mother!" he cried, rushing forward to save her. Upon seeing this astonishing development, Chu Chu Ji and the others stopped fighting. Reaching her side, Wan Yan Kang saw her soft and dangling body and the spear piercing through her chest, and he started sobbing without restraint. Chu Chu Ji went forward to inspect the couple's wounds and saw that the spear had struck a fatal point At fatal points of their bodies, there was no room for hope. Wang Yankang held his mother, and Mu Nianzi held Yang Tiexin. The two of them wept in grief. Qiu Chuchi said to Yang Tiexin, "Brother Yang, tell me if you have any wish, and I will see that it gets done. I still didn't manage to save you in the end. He felt a dull ache in his heart and choked in sorrow. At this very moment came the sound of footsteps. Everyone turned and saw the 6 freaks of Jiangnan hurrying over with Guo Jing. On seeing Xia Tongtian and the others, the 6 freaks immediately pulled out their weapons. Going closer, they saw a man and a woman on the floor, and looks of surprise set into their faces. They turned around and saw Mao Yu and Qiu Chuchi, and were surprised even further. Guo Jing saw Yang Tiexin lying on the floor with blood all over, and hurriedly went to his side. "Uncle Yang, how are you feeling?" he asked. Yang Tiexin, oh, still alive, still alive. Let's hear his last words, guys. Yang Tiexin was barely alive, and broke into a smile when he saw Guo Jing. "Your late father and I had a pact. If we bore a son and daughter, then they would be married," he said. "I don't have a daughter, but this foster daughter is like my own." He turned his gaze to Qiu Chuji. "Priest Qiu, help me see to this marriage, and I will go in peace." That Oh no. Plot twist. Did not see that coming. "That's easy, don't worry," Qiu Chuji assured him. Bao Shiro was lying beside her husband and clutched his arm with her left hand, afraid that he would leave her again. In a haze, she heard him mention the betrothal agreement from years ago. She fought to retrieve a dagger from her robes and said, This is the token of remembrance." She then said, "Brother Tia, we are finally dying together. I'm so happy." With that, she gave a small smile and passed away peacefully, looking warm and enchanting as always. Qiu Chuji received the dagger and saw that it was none other than his gift to them at Ox Village in Linan. The words Guo Jing were carved on its handle. Up to what, 3 fiancés now? So he has 2 fiancés, right? He has Mu Nianzi now and I forgot her name, but the Mongolian one. Yang Tiexin said to Guo Jing, On account of your late father, I hope you treat my daughter well." I can't," stuttered Guo Jing. Chu Chu Chi said, "I will see to everything. Go in peace." Yang Tiexin had initially given up hope of finding Guo Xiaotian's descendant, and so arranged the joust for a spouse the joust for a spouse for Mu Nianzi. Today, he was not only reunited with his beloved wife, but also found his sworn brother's son, so his daughter would have a husband to rely on. With that, he had no further regrets and closed his eyes for the last time. All right. How do you guys like that? I knew it! I knew it was going to be an important chapter. I was thinking, well, the husband and wife, they're going to die. They're probably going to die soon, right? Yeah, their time is over. They ain't got long for this world. Disappoint a dying man or earn the ire of Genghis Khan. Guo Jing is in a tight spot. Yeah, true. And he doesn't want to marry either. Okay. He wants Hong Rong. So sad. Now it's only Guo Jing's mother left. Yeah, true. And what about Wan Yan Kang, guys? What an asshole. What a little dick. He's like, I like that he was looking at his real father and then his adoptive father. He was like, do I want a rich life where I don't have to worry about anything? Or do I want to live with that poor dude over there? And he's like, nope. I'm gonna go with the rich life. No happy endings in Wuxia. Yeah. Well, at least Yang Tiexin and Qiu Chuchi were reunited again. They see each other again. I like that. After 18 years. And then yeah, at least Yang Tiexin and Bao Shiro are also reunited. Yang Kang is shit. Yeah. He's a little poo head. Okay, well, what do you think Guo Jing is gonna do? What do you think? What do you think, guys? Is he gonna get married with Mu Nianzi or a Mongolian princess? We shall see. All right. All right, cheers, guys. Oh yeah, I also like that part where Yang Tiexin has a spear in his chest. And Guo Jing runs over. He's like, are you okay? Something wrong? You're not hurt, are you? Alright, guys. That was fun. This translator is much better than the previous ones. Thank God. Started out a little iffy, okay, but he got his groove as time went on. So, not bad so far. Yeah, this one, I think the first translator was all right too. So good job, Mojo Jojo. I hope Mojo Jojo keeps on doing it. Hard to beat the previous one. I could barely understand what happened in the last chapter. It was so bad. All right. Well, that's it. Tune in next time. Okay. Exciting events happen this chapter. Will there be more exciting events? We shall see. We shall see. All right, guys. I love you. I will see you next time. Bye. Oh yeah, the end was the beginning of one of the chapters. What the fuck? All right. Have a good one. Bye.